You're not good enough at Car Mechanic Simulator to click add to list, go to the shopping cart and buy it. I'm like, even Car Mechanic Simulator isn't immune to this kind of shit. Hello and welcome to Video Game Podtimism. It is the Optimist video game variety show where two best friends talk about the wonderful world of gaming. My name is Chase.
And my name is David.
Just a quick shout out to Dr. Pepper at the top here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get a sponsorship from the doctor?
I wish I did. No, I just got pepped up today and I really enjoy the doctor and his work. It's a little treat that I don't often reach for. Like I really don't go out of my way to be like, man, do I need a doctor today? You know? But every now and then, if it's on like a soda tap or like I'll see it somewhere, like I was gonna get a soda anyway. And it's my friend the doctor is there. I'll indulge. I'm not gonna stand here and lie.
Yeah.
You know? And it's such a sweet experience. The doctor and his peppers. It's just so nice. The flavor of it is kind of sublime. It's like nothing else.
There isn't anything else quite like Dr. Pepper. It's true. I'm a big fan of Mr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe I should say Mr. Pibb. What, did you ever have Mr. Pibb?
Whoa, I have had Mr. Pibb. I don't know if I enjoy Mr. Pibb, David.
He definitely feels like if they're like, oh, we have Dr. Pepper too, and it's just some dude in the corner wearing like a Dr. Pepper hat that just says Mr. Pibb scribbled over the front. It's definitely a cheap imitation of Dr. Pepper.
This is not the case.
He did not go to medical school.
He's
just a mister. He's not a doctor.
This is a guy who read about stuff on WebMD.
Oh no, the worst person.
Yeah, like this isn't the case, but I already feel like Dr. Pepper is kind of like a side character. It's like a tertiary character in an already kind of niche genre. And so to have a knockoff of that is just like, who are you, Mr. Pibb? What are you doing here?
Who do you think you are, Mr. Pibb? Although one thing I will say for Dr. Pepper, he's just Dr. Pepper. It's not owned by a conglomerate, as I believe. Dr.
Pepper is owned by Keurig Dr. Pepper.
Oh, wow. Keurig?
Keurig, yeah.
Keurig and Dr. Pepper have merged.
Yeah, apparently in 2018, there was a merger of Keurig Green Mountain and Dr. Pepper Snapple Group. It's not owned by Coke or Pepsi. That is surprising.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like it is its own third entity in the soda wars.
Yeah, sort of a tertiary, like neutral third country between the two of them. I wish that you have played more Path of Radiance because I would love to explain to you which nations are which sodas.
I mean, do it anyways. Do it for the listeners.
Okay, so Begnion is clearly Coke. I think that's the case.
They're the big bad ones, right? In the first game, they're just sort of like they used to be the Empire, but they're not really anymore, and they're attempting to be better. But like they're definitely the biggest by size, which I think that would make Dayan PepsiCo. I'm pretty sure. Okay,
and so I'm trying to figure out. I think Crimea is Dr. Pepper, which is where most of that game like starts.
What a thing to say in the year 2026 about Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper and Crimea, same thing. Same thing. If you don't know your Path of Radiance lore, then you're very confused if you're just paying attention to geopolitics in the real world.
I'm so sorry for anyone who hasn't heard any of our previous episodes about Path of Radiance, nor has played Path of Radiance, has any fucking clue what the rest of this is. I'll simmer on who Gallia, Goldoa, Phoenixus, and Kilvas are. Are there any like derelict soda companies that like maybe have one soda that they still kind of make?
I mean, Fanta? Is Fanta owned by somebody?
I think Fanta's like,
I feel like it's Coke.
I think it's owned by Coke.
Or by like,
yeah. Also, just a crazy thing to name a soda.
Look.
Squirt.
Look. Did not mean that in the 60s, okay?
I guess not, but like, I think the moment that crosses over, you pull the plug on that soda.
We're renaming the soda to Daddy.
I would.
Another term that has not aged well
I think it's aging just fine. It just means something else now.
I don't know. They don't mean the same thing.
I think Phoenixis I think it's like Cactus Cooler or something. Like a old soda that doesn't really exist unless you...
Oh, RC soda.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That might actually be Kilvus, because I think RC's like big enough that you still have people who like enjoy it and they're like, oh yeah, RC, huh? Or like Tab or something.
What about like the store brand knockoff versions?
Yeah, I wonder.
Is there an equivalent to that in Fire Emblem?
It depends on your opinion of the store brand. Like, if you think that they are like an ally to the working class and like a good thing, then maybe Goldoa, because it's like a nation of dragon people.
Why does that mean that they're allied with the working people?
Because it's like the value of them is such that they are like a proud race of dragons. You know, like,
okay,
like it's not that Coke isn't good. It's just like, if I'm gonna buy soda, I don't want it to be $20 or whatever.
Sure.
But their knockoff Coke is still pretty good. Sunny Select Coke or something. But I sort of feel like Goldoa is like a soda that is much more rare.
And also Jones?
Maybe a Jones. Yeah, it could be. And also like lasts for a while. And that could either mean that it has a long shelf life or that it's just been around for a long time. I'm not sure yet.
Huh. Oh, there is a grapefruit soda from like some Caribbean country. Ting. It's been around forever. Ting.
Oh, yeah, sure. Damn, where'd you pull this one from, David?
My knowledge of tiki drinks. Ting and Ray. Ting and like rum is a thing. It's a cocktail.
Yeah.
Popular in, I think, like Barbados or one of those like far South Caribbean countries, I believe.
I wonder if Goldoa is just like Schweppes. Like old soda, you know?
Old money soda. Mr. Schweppes hasn't done anything in years. But it's just
Johann Jacob Schwepp himself, which is the real name of the man who founded that company.
Johann Jacob Schwepp?
Yes.
Wow. That is a strong name. No wonder they became popular.
Yeah, no, I think that might be Goldoa, if I had to guess.
This is really important content.
Yeah, we are sort of 10 minutes into this. We haven't really talked about the video games we're playing. Could you tell me about what you've been playing, David?
Yeah, I've still been playing a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Yeah, tell me about your experience right now.
This is a very unique game for me. I have a very different experience with this game than I do a lot of other RPGs of the same nature.
Yeah.
Mostly because I think in other RPGs, I'm really trying to steer my character in a specific way to get the outcomes that I want.
Yeah.
In this game, I'm totally okay with just letting life just happen to poor Henry and just seeing what happens. And I was wondering, like, what it is about this game that makes me okay with that. Like, why is this game so different that I'm just totally okay with just seeing what the game does to my character based off of his current stat points?
Yeah.
And I think it's just like the absolute degaff nature of the world and the people in it has rubbed off on me. Like, I don't give a fuck about like what necessarily happens on a day-to-day basis to this guy. He's just trying to survive and live out there. And like sometimes you get into like an argument with your like new friend and you have to fight about it. And that's just what happens. And then you make up and you have some drinks and it's fine afterwards.
Yeah.
It's a very like you have such a little, the game has such a little regard for the banality of Henry's life that it makes me just like let the world happen to him, which is a very kind of liberating and freeing experience for an RPG, because, you know, I have been on record of saying like, I hate hate is a strong word. I really don't like the, multiple endings versions of games where it feels like things have been hidden from you, or like the game, it wants you to go in a certain direction. Whereas this game's just like, just go, just let the world happen to you. Different things are going to happen. You might have a good outcome. You might have a bad outcome. You might have a neutral outcome, but it's just going to be your experience with this game. And I find that very freeing. I enjoy that quite a bit. You know, there is no repercussions, or there's sometimes repercussions, but there's no like big repercussions often, at least that I have found so far, beyond like dying and then you lose a bunch of progress. But as far as like story beats or, you know, cutscenes or content that you do or don't get, it's just like, oh, it is what it is. I guess I'll just go do one of the other like thousands of things that this game has to offer for me, right?
Yeah. Huh.
You know, the one that the instance that comes to mind is I went to town to like find a missing girl, but I got caught up by talking to these Cumans who are like Hungarian warriors, essentially. Yeah. And I decided, hey, I'm going to go drink with these guys. So they took me off to their camp over by where the Romani are, essentially. And we just get plastered. And I find out that they were there at my village when like it got razed to the ground in the first game. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna hang with these guys. I'm just going to see what happens. It's very hard to steer Henry sometimes. You can't totally steer Henry. Henry is his own creature. I think that's also part of what's fun about this game. Yeah. I'm not role playing. I am Henry. The game has asked me to be Henry, particularly. This noble's bastard who has like been elevated to the station of a knight, essentially, right? And, you know, he does not like humans at all. Like, there's so many options, like dialogue options to be like, fuck you guys. Let's fucking fight. Let's fucking go. This is for my dad and my mom, right? Yeah. And I'm just like trying to steer him out of these conversations because like these humans deserted. They're cool. They're homies. They're just hanging out.
They didn't buy the company line. They're like, we're out, actually.
They came afterwards. They weren't like part of the raising of the town.
Yeah.
They're just trying to like live their own life now in beautiful bohemian paradise, right?
Yeah.
So that was fun, kind of feeling that tension and trying to be like, okay, Henry, just chill, dude. Just have a good time and get drunk with them. And then one of them, because like only one of them speaks the Czech language, I'm guessing it is. So there's 4 of them. And one of them was saying like, oh, you know, there's this Romani girl that I'm just like so smitten with. Can you like come with me to translate for me to let her know how much I like her? And you're already like a couple drinks in at this point. And of course I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But then that makes no sense because he doesn't speak my language. I don't speak his language. So how am I supposed to translate for him? It's a fool's errand. And then I realized that was happening. I was like, oh shit. And then it went so bad. Like Henry could not has negative riz with this woman.
No aura from this boy.
0 aura. Absolutely negative aura, I think is what they would say.
Yeah.
And it goes so bad that right then and there, this other guy just decides like, oh, fuck this dude. I'm going to beat the shit out of him. And we just start fighting in the middle of the camp. I'm just like trading blows. And I realize I can just surrender. I'm like, dude, just stop. I'm sorry. Just stop. I give up. And he just leaves. And we go back to camp and we just start drinking again. And it's fine. I'm just like, this game is so liberating in a way. Like I don't have to, like, if he attacks me, I can just be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, we're fine. And he's like, okay, fuck you. I'm out. Let's go have a couple more drinks.
Yeah.
It's the strangest gameplay experience, but it's really enjoyable. It's fun. As far as like RPGs, I don't think I've ever played one quite like this that gives you these sorts of outcomes and options to, you know, side missions or just the story beats in general. So yeah, I'm really enjoying Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's a fun game. Even just kind of getting lost in the world is a good time. And it's a gorgeous game too. It looks so good.
It's interesting. I feel like it's combining a lot of things. Like you're explaining both authored story beats and also emergent moments. You know, like it kind of has both. I'm sort of thinking of the great RPGs, and like, you know, Skyrim comes to mind. And that one, while there is authored stuff happening, I feel like the stuff that people talk about is like, I wandered out into the woods and just like did something. You know, and it sounds like you're kind of having a similar experience there. Or, you know, we've talked about Far Cry 2, like the emergent video game back in the day.
Yeah.
And comparing that to like, I don't know, like The Witcher or like Mass Effect or something that's like much more authored, even though like in The Witcher, you have like dialogue choices, same thing with Mass Effect, but it's like, it's telling a story. There's a pretty like direct story if you would like to follow the mainline quest. It's interesting that it's kind of doing both here, where you do have, here's this story with these Romanis, or also, you can have your fist fight, be pissed, throw up your hands, say I'm good, and then go back to your drinking buddies, Because I don't think that was really like in there. It just happened because of the mechanics that they have.
Yeah.
That could happen.
It feels like a really good DM is giving me this game right now. Like these experiences feel more like a Baldur's Gate experience to me, in that it is like they've just thought of every possible permutation and have, planned accordingly as far as, what they allow the player to do or like what the outcomes can be.
Yeah.
It's really good. I'm really enjoying this game so far. It's a strange, weird experience. Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird game, but it's fun.
In some ways, it feels kind of like almost the inverse of Baldur's Gate, because I think Baldur's Gate is also very authored. Like,
sure.
In the sense that like you can do whatever really, but like they have something that happens whenever you do that, there is dialogue or a story or something that you get access to. Whereas I think it's not exactly the same thing, but I feel like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is like a little bit closer to like the immersive sim angle of it, where they introduce mechanics that you can use. And it just so happens that like sometimes those mechanics will lead to something interesting happening, like throwing up your hands and saying, I don't want to fight anymore.
Exactly. That because my speech was so bad and my outfit was so bad. I had 0 riz. No one is going to believe a man who like smells and is wearing like just regular ass trousers out and about, like who has a bad haircut. Those are all things that play into how convincing you are to somebody that you're talking to. And just this Romani woman was just not having it with me at all. So yeah, it's fascinating to see how this game plays out, and it makes you like I don't often think, okay, I want to play a game over again.
Yeah.
But I'm already like, wow, if I played that mission again and I had like good clothes, and maybe I had talked to like maybe some lower level like NPCs or something like that earlier on, would that have changed the outcome, and would I see something completely different? So yeah, it's just it gets my brain working in a very different way than other RPGs do.
Yeah, that's cool. It's one that I like. I wish I had more of an appetite to really get into, because I liked it, and I suspect I will return to this game at some point. But the thing, I think you described it last week as fussy, and
sure,
that is something that pulls you in, and typically that is something that draws me out of the game. Like, that it's need for you to like respect its opinions about how the world works. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to wear the coif, man. I just want to fucking swing my sword, or the fact that like a sword fight takes a long time.
So long. Like, and you got to like back off and just like let your stamina recharge.
Yeah, it's I remember the sword fights just being really lengthy. Like you have to like really stand there and like fight with someone for a long time.
I mean, it's a fight to the death sometimes.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna give it up easily.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to fight some wolves, and that is one definite chink in the armor of this game. Is anything that you have to interact with that's kind of like by your feet.
Yeah,
doesn't always work well.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to swing at these wolves, and I just cannot make contact
There's no
with
connection,
them at all.
Yeah.
Right? I found my dog. I found Mutt.
Oh,
Mutt is my bro again.
Yeah,
but I had to save him from some wolves, and that was a difficult and kind of frustrating fight. But at the same time, it doesn't break my immersion in the game, because if I was fighting wolves in real life, it would be difficult and annoying probably. So it plays into that strangely well, right? Its wonkiness, it doesn't oftentimes feel like a bug, kind of feels like a feature. I don't know if that's by design, but it works. It works.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm curious to see how this goes for you in the long run.
I have also been playing Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown.
Okay, whoa. This is such a can of worms to open up.
Is it really?
Not in a bad way. Just like I have not, I for a while I was like Ace Combat curious, and then I heard that like the story is absolutely buck wild bananas. And
in this one?
In all of them really, but I think this one really takes it to another level.
They're doing a lot with the story. There's a lot of geopolitics going on here.
Yes. Yeah. What drove you to want to play this game in the first place?
I've always been Ace Combat curious. remember you played one of the Ace Combats a lot when we were younger, like 3 or 4 maybe?
I think it was a PlayStation 2 game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, maybe even number 2. I forget which one it was.
Yeah, I don't remember either. And your boy was skipping them cutscenes, so I don't know what was.
You played and loved one of those Ace Combat games, and you always talked about, dude, you should play Ace Combat. It's really good. And I just never got around to doing it.
I think it was 4.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that one was Shattered Skies. That was the one for PS2. Mm-hmm. And I recognize the box art, so that one feels correct.
Yeah, but it became, I think this one was one of the monthly games on PlayStation.
Oh, sure.
So I decided, hey, let's try it. Let's see what's going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the game is weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot going on. It starts off with like this very long segment where you're playing as this young woman who grows up with a bunch of like ex-Air Force guys, like I think it was like her grandpa and a bunch of his friends, and they all teach her how to work on planes and how to fly. And so they all together like make this plane together with her. And then you go into first person mode and you go into the air with this plane as this woman. And you all of a sudden like get embroiled into like an international incident where there's like drone planes flying around.
Yeah.
Very, very prescient, right? And then it just completely like forgets her story for quite some time. And you start just playing as a rookie on like this elite squadron of fighter pilots, right? There's a bunch of like made up country names, whereas like the princess of Eurasia has declared war on like Skyopia or something like that because they want control of the space elevator that this president who was like a good president decided to like do something for the world and made this space elevator in this country that was kind of like downtrodden at the time, but it was oddly close to this other country that they had tensions with, and they ever liked the proximity of that space elevator to them, and they decided one day they just had enough of it and they wanted that space elevator, so they were going to come and take it. And the president, he's not the president anymore, but he's the ex-president. He gets captured or something like that. But maybe he was the one pulling the strings the whole time. I don't know, but that's kind of what it feels like it's alluding to or building towards. So there is a deep story going on, and it feels like coming into the 7th game, never having played any other ones, I'm just like, wow, what is going on here? I did not know I needed to read like a Wikipedia article about this, or go probably to the dedicated wiki for this game and its lore, and just like go down a couple large rabbit holes to figure out what exactly is going on in this game.
It's a game that, like, from the outside looking in, I would imagine it couldn't possibly have a complicated story.
I was imagining it was going to be like Call of Duty.
Yeah, Ace, the name Ace Combat to me.
Yeah.
Sounds like there is a gesture of a story in these games.
Yes.
And so for it to have like lore is such a swerve, at least for me.
I did not expect it at all. It was welcome. I enjoyed that fact. That it was more than just, come on, Soap, we got to go and take out the bad guy in the Middle East. We got to protect
the Burger King.
We got to protect, Rally Point Burger King, let's go. Protect capitalism at all costs.
Yeah.
That seems like it's trying to do something deeper than just that. While in the meantime, kind of being a strange like marketing tool for Northrop Grumman, because like in the beginning of the game, it has all of those like defense, like aerospace contractors, like it has their logos up there, like in sponsorship with these guys, because we had to get like the specs for the real planes, and I'm like, ooh, that's kind of gross.
It's a little wild.
It's a little wild, but then they have this crazy story in the game too. So I'm like, okay, maybe you're trying to cook here for good. Who knows? And then just like all of the, after you do a mission, you can replay the mission and see it all in like its cinematic glory, and also just feels very much like a join the Marines sort of commercial, which there's not. Maybe there is something inherently wrong with that, but it is what it is. In a lot, and like you can't take it out of the game, or at least I can't take it out of the game. You can kind of skip it, but it is still kind of cool to see your plane flying around doing loop-de-loops in a cinematic way.
Yeah.
I haven't talked about the gameplay at all. The gameplay is so disorienting. It is fun and enjoyable, but it feels like I have zero control over this plane, but I still somehow find my enemies and am able to shoot them with my missiles. Yeah, it feels like I'm just both barrel rolling and looping like the whole time that I'm playing this game. And I'm like, wow, if I had motion sickness, I would not be able to play this game at all, I don't think. And there's a VR mode as well that you can do. I'm like, I would horf immediately.
Good,
I would be so sick because I am not good at controlling this plane at all. It doesn't make sense to me. My brain somehow is able to point myself in a direction of a bogey to get him. But man, this boy is not meant to sortie in the skies. I'll tell you that. It does not make sense to my brain. But when I take down like 4 drones all at once with one like cluster missile strike, looks cool. And I was doing it upside down, not because I intended to, but that's just the way I was, which was sweet.
I feel like that may be part of the intended experience, that like it is just kind
like
of
a
chaotic.
nut job up there. Yeah.
Just that like it's disorienting and kind of chaotic, because I think that's like it adds to the effect of like I am just barely scraping by out here, despite the fact like this looks very cool.
That is how it felt. I'm just like, I don't know where I am. I don't know where the enemy is, but I'm just going to keep on banking and looping and I will find them somehow. Just don't hit the water.
Yeah. I forgot that I had played the first couple levels of this at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was watching just a Let's Play of it while you're talking. And I played the first, like, I think 2 levels or whatever. Yeah. And didn't see the fact that there was like a very photorealistic cutscene that shows up not that long after that. With like named characters and shit. I'm like, ooh, maybe I need to get back in here. I will also say that like I know that people enjoy this game who I would be pretty surprised if they were just like down for military propaganda fully. Sure. You know, like I have to imagine that they're going to cook in some way here. It's not just going to be straight up join the Navy, you know?
Sure.
There will be something going on here. Yeah, I'm very interested in where this goes. From what I understand, these games aren't horribly long, right? Like they're not like 100-hour experiences, but
that'd be way too much. That'd be way too much Ace Combat.
I would hope for probably like a 10-hour Ace Combat experience, you know?
Seems tight.
Yeah, feels about right. Yeah, do you feel like you're going to stick with this one?
I might play a couple more levels. I'm interested to know where the story goes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the sauce for the gameplay itself.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm kind of floundering up there and watching my playthrough again. I'm just like, I look like I'm just convulsing in a plane up there is essentially what it looks like. So we'll see how it goes in like some of the harder levels, but I just yearn for the what was the name of that game? The Mario Kart in space game.
Mario Kart in space game. I
thought you were going to drift.
Say, oh yeah.
Stellar.
It was like one word.
Oh man, that game was good. Oh, Chorus.
Thank you, David.
We found it.
Chorus was good. It seems like Ace Combat is sort of on the like Forza Horizon side of combat in the air games, in that it's like it's a little bit more simmy. I think it's still quite ridiculous, but it's not the drifting in space like Chorus is.
Yeah, I need like a Forza Horizon type of fighter jet game.
Yeah.
The sim is just like too much for me. But we'll see. We'll see if I get back into it.
Yeah, I mostly just want to know what the people who love this game love about it. Not because I don't see it, but like from the experience of somebody who like has way more experience with this series than I do. Because like I want to know what's going on in that fucking story, man. And I don't just want to read a Wikipedia article about it, you know?
Right? Yeah. Or like watch a Let's Play or all the cinematics of this story.
Yeah.
You want to feel the beats.
I want to feel the beats, man. Cool. Nice.
Yeah. That's all I've been playing. Chase, what have you been playing?
I got a couple things. Let me do a quick check back in with a few games just to see how we're doing. Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Absolutely still cranking on this video game. I am absolutely cracked at this game now. Super duper good at fixing cars. I went to the trouble of installing some mods to this game. Because
Fast and the Furious mod?
No, not the Fast and the Furious mod. I bet there is one. No, there's like a quality of life mod where in the actual game, to replace a part, you have to highlight it, click add to like list or something so it's on your like shopping list. Go to the store on your tablet, find that item, and then click buy, and it will appear in your inventory, and then you can put it back on the car. If you have like a spark plug or something that you need, you have to do that every time. But there's a mod that if you just click B, it will buy the part that you're looking at. And so you can just immediately do it. And I don't have to like futz through a bunch of menus or whatever.
Got to press beater Griffin, huh?
I got to press beater. This is so funny. I looked up this, I was just like looking up to see like if there's a way to do that in the first place. And somebody had mentioned like, oh, there's a mod to do that. I'm like, okay. And I like go to some discussions of the mods because people are like talking about it on the subreddit. And a bunch of people in the community were essentially saying that like
there's a Family Guy mod?
No, the installing this mod is like a skill issue problem where like you're not good enough at Car Mechanic Simulator to click add to list, go to the shopping cart and buy it. They're like, dude, you have to get a mod just to like buy your stuff. Like get good at this fucking video game. I'm like, even Car Mechanic Simulator isn't immune to this kind of shit.
What's your APMs, bro? What's your APMs?
Truly, sometimes I'm flying through these cars and I'm like, I do want to know how quick I'm doing this. Like, I feel like I'm just flying.
Is there like an APM calculator for like a computer, like a client that you can download or something?
Probably, yeah. The thing is, I would need to compare it against other people playing Car Mechanic Simulator.
Just post it to the Discord and just see what other people post.
I need to know your stats.
The car mechanic freaks will get there.
How quickly can you fix a Range Rover? Ooh. Like if you need just a baseline, like change the brake pads or something like that. How quickly can you do it?
Are they using name brands?
No, that was one of the mods. Is that it replaces all the fake brands with the cars that they're clearly modeled after.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of nice because I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to check out what's going on in a Range Rover. That's pretty cool. Or like if there's ever like a real funky setup in the engine, I'm like, oh, what was going on with the Dodge Pinto or whatever?
Are there actual mechanics who chime in and be like, hey, this is actually kind of somewhat correct as far as how you get to this specific part or like how difficult this car is to work on?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it because I don't want to like diffuse my own excitement about it because sometimes
I've been living a lie with Car Mechanic Simulator 2021.
That's the thing is like, I get it's almost certainly not accurate, but part of me is like, it's kind of cool.
But like in broad strokes, you know,
like you do probably have to take the tires off to get to this part, you know, to fix the steering rod or whatever. And so like, you know, maybe there is some accuracy, but I so doubt it. Plus, like, I think the hard part of fixing a car is not knowing where the part is or like replacing it. It is getting to it and making sure that you can like put it all back together or getting to it and not breaking something in the process. So they definitely have simplified that half of it. But man, I am just flying through it. I think I'm running out of cars, unfortunately. Like there are story car fixes that you do. Like it's part of the quote unquote story. It's so minimal. It's just like, hey, I got in a crash. Can you fix my car? Oh, I heard a buddy of mine was recommended this place. Can you fix his car? Like, okay. But I'm pretty sure I'm running out of those. And so I'm either just going to have to like start picking up the optional sort of whatever generated missions. Or you can also like go to like a barn and find like old busted cars that you like buy and then you can fix them and sell them.
Obviously, that's what you do.
Sort of. It's just less interesting. I think something about the story mode is like, this is for something. Because like when you do that, you get more like money and then you can sort of like upgrade your shit. But if I am done with all the story missions, what am I making money for really? Like there's no other sort of like incentive in the game because I've bought all the shit and like I don't just want to keep unscrewing tires, you know, like I kind of like the momentum of having like a mission.
You need some incentive to unscrew these tires.
I would like some incentives to change the brake pads. So nice. I don't know. I sort of suspect that once the story missions are done, I might come to a screeching halt with this game.
Oh, wow. Look at this guy.
Yeah, it's comedy. This podcast is labeled as comedy and technology. So
comedy and technology. Wow, that does describe us pretty well.
Yeah, it's not too far away. We like to laugh when we talk about these video games.
I feel like listening to you talk about this game, I feel like there might be a lot of sauce to this genre of like mechanic genre. Like you could make like a I don't know, detective mechanic game. right? All the cars that are like part of crimes come into you, and you have to like
find
fix
where the blood
them, or
is
find
or something.
Find where the bad deeds have happened.
Yeah, I mean, as with any entry in the simulator genre, I yearn for them to do something else with the story. Like I like these games a lot, but they're almost entirely mechanical. Like again, there are sort of story beats, but like even in something a little bit more successful, like Power Washing Simulator, the story is so not the point of the thing.
Oh,
and
absolutely not.
Like, I don't think that it makes it a bad game per se, but like, I'm so curious the story you might tell in a power washing simulator, if that was the thing you were trying to do, you know, that like, I know that sounds silly, but imagine if it was good for just a moment. Cast your mind's eye to the world where power washing simulator has a really good story, you know?
That's a world that could happen.
It could happen.
It's a possibility.
So, I mean, I guess that's that I played last year. The one
Hard Space Shipbreaker?
No, man, that one did. That game was fucking cooking. No, what was it called? I played it last year. Ambrosia Sky. That's pretty similar to what that was.
Sure.
God, I should play Hard Space Shipbreaker again. That was a good fucking video game. Similar thing of like, there is a very intense mechanical experience, but there's also some other stuff cooking.
This man likes to eat over here, game developers.
Please,
all right, let him eat. Cook for the man.
I do sort of fear what the next step is with this specific game, though. Like,
the car mechanic simulator?
Yeah, because I know that there is a more intense game called Wrench that is like an even deeper simulation of fixing cars.
You're just wondering if this is the gateway drug.
Yeah, if it's after this, I'll pick up Wrench, or I'll just go buy a real shitty car and try and fix it myself.
Go buy a like 1970 Chevy Impala or something like that. I don't even know if that's a real car, but it sounds like a real car.
Like a car, yeah.
It sounds.
One of my old roommates in Santa Cruz said that like there's an era of BMWs that you can buy that are like largely mechanical still from like the 2000s that are like pretty good cars to work on because they're like easy to understand ish and there's like readily available parts. And you know what? As a new father and a man with hobbies that I enjoy already. And a total lack of free time. You know what I think I should do?
Learn to work on cars?
Learn to work on cars in something that will certainly take me time and money and focus. And from every mechanic I have ever encountered, frustration as well.
Not to mention like potential for injury.
Oh, yeah. Well, like that's a big, heavy beast. Could just fall on my knees, you know?
Yeah. It ain't easy on the hand. I changed my headlight the other day and that was hard.
Yeah.
That was not easy.
Wow.
It's not easy on my Subaru Outback. It's a hard one.
Yeah, you were playing Car Mechanic Simulator 2026, David.
Starring DB.
Starring DB. I have also still been playing 100 Line, which I don't have a ton to say other than I'm really enjoying it. I am on day 45, I think, out of 100. And I think I see what's happening here, and I won't reveal much to you, listener, because like I don't want to blow it, but I see how they're going to comment on game endings and sort of what will take place after that. People call a lot of this Route Zero is what I'm currently playing.
Oh,
I think I understand how that's going to work out, but really enjoying it. They have introduced more characters and I love all of them. They're all very good and it's really delightful. There are mysteries abound in this game.
Yeah.
And they so far have given me answers to very few of them. And I think that will sort of become clear the more I play it. But I suspect that like the post Route Zero is when I will start getting more deeper answers to that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm having a great time with it. I'm really enjoying it. I think the writing is very fun. It's very silly. And there is the kind of light spoilers here. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to ruin that for anybody.
Okay.
But it's a joy. I'm really enjoying what's going on here.
Nice.
The two games that I want to talk about a little bit more in depth, one of them is called Plan B Terraform, David.
Okay. This
is a game that I heard about. I was reading a blog post by another podcast host named Phil Botham of 70% Complete, the podcast he hosts. And he was talking about this game called Plan B Terraform, which he described as a factory game. And I'm like, hey now, I'll take whatever I can get in that genre.
Factory game, hey now.
Yeah. I feel like early on in the show, it was an era where I would play any deck building roguelike.
Yeah.
And because there have been so many really good ones, I feel like I've become a little bit pickier and my taste is like come a little bit more heightened in a way where I can't just play anything.
Sure.
But currently, I am in the slop mines for any factory game. Like any game that's even close to good, I'm like, yeah, I got to check it out.
This boy is Jones.
I need to optimize, man. But yeah, I checked this one out. Mercifully, this is not in the slop mines. This is a very good factory video game. Mm-hmm. So there are, and Phil points this out in his blog. I'll link to it in the show notes. He mentions that there's, in his eyes, sort of like two routes with factory games, either Factorio or Satisfactory. And this one is definitely in the Factorio realm. Mm-hmm. In that it is like top down. You are largely just placing like buildings from, God's eye view or whatever. Factorio, you control like a person and you have to go like physically build shit when you want to do it in that game. In this one, you're not controlling a person. You're just sort of like hovering above what looks like Mars and placing buildings down and shit like that. And I think in contrast to something like Factorio, especially if you don't turn off the combat, can be quite stressful. Like it is a game that I think wants you to have to like build like a scrappy little factory and figure it out.
There's combat in Factorio?
There is, yeah. I almost entirely turned it off because it's like...
I was about to say, have you talked about that before? This is news to me.
No, it doesn't add a lot for me. I feel like it only stresses...
I am here to optimize and that is it.
Yeah, and like I don't need to be fighting bugs, man. That's not a thing that interests me.
Oh, it's the bug one. Okay.
Yeah, there's bugs in it. It's like, I get why it's there and I bet for some people it really adds to it, but at a certain point I'm like, I don't really want to have to fuck with like guns and walls and ammo and shit, like it doesn't really add a lot to me. Mm-hmm. And even with combat off, it still kind of feels like Factorio can be a hostile world, I think, in where you're supposed to feel like, man, I really got to make this work for me. And Satisfactory has a little bit of that, but I feel like that definitely takes a backseat at a certain point, that like the combat is not that big of a deal.
Sure.
And I think another game that you can just turn that off entirely. But in Plan B, I think that the game is much more forgiving, not of you misunderstanding the mechanics per se, but just like there's not a lot of like time pressure. There's not really an issue with you just kind of experimenting and trying things out. And in that way, it is similar to Shapes 2, another factory game that I was quite a big fan of. I think that one is like, Shapes 2 is even more forgiving than this game because like you really just need to deliver shapes to like this big like black hole in the middle of the map. And like anything else is gravy. You can put factories wherever you want to. There's not really a lot of restrictions on it. It's kind of just like figure out how to do this. It's almost a puzzle. Whereas this one's you do have to like produce like ore extractors and build platforms and roads and shit like that by hand. But it's not really that intensive as far as the friction that it requires you to do. It's kind of just like you need to set it up and then it'll make things happen. The purpose of the game is that you're trying to terraform. It doesn't necessarily say Mars, but like it looks like Mars. Mm-hmm. And you have to do that kind of piecemeal. So the first couple things it has you doing is like just setting up a factory so that you can build more ore extractors, and then you can build factories themselves or like parts assemblers or something like that. And so you do that. And then after you're done with that like tutorial part, it will say, okay, now you need to deliver concrete to the 3 cities that we have on this map. Game, again, very forgiving. You can zoom out and just sort of like scroll around the whole planet to see like where are the spots that I can set that up to make it work here. Mm-hmm. And then you start delivering that to the city and the city starts growing and you like gain population by doing that. And the point essentially of the loop of the game is that it will set a goal for you, a task, and you just have to like deliver that stuff. Mostly to these cities that you are building. And then slowly but surely, like you do start terraforming the planet, right? Like it starts very slowly with like, hey, there's liquid rain now and things like that. Or eventually you will start, having like rivers and crops and stuff like that on this planet. But it starts out as really low level, just like we need to extract sulfur so that we can build concrete, that kind of stuff.
That's fun. That's kind of cool.
It is cool. And like, even when you are quote unquote, like not doing something correctly, meaning like the city, say you are delivering 10 concrete to a city and suddenly you have changed something to the point where you're delivering 5. Mm-hmm. It's like the city will come up as like red and be like, hey, it's shrinking because it's not getting the concrete it needs. Mm-hmm. But like, it's not that big of a deal, like the game doesn't have like a big fail state that's going to pop up and say like, hey, you fucked up. Mars is destroyed. It's just like, you should figure out how to deliver enough so that it can grow still. It also does the Shapes 2 thing where you can just copy and paste a factory setup you have. So like if you have something that's working really nicely and you would like to just use that somewhere else, then you just, Control C, Control V somewhere else on the planet. And so like the friction that Satisfactory sometimes adds where like you yourself have to go and build it. And sometimes that is challenging because you just have to like get there and then also like by hand figure out where am I going to put this extractor and then all these belts and shit like that. It's really not like that. A lot of the times you can just build like a little, can't remember what they're called, but it's like essentially some drones that move shit around and that's really it. Great. It'll take it where it needs to go. And so, yeah, I think this is a really good one. It is another spot that I would point to, I think, alongside Shapes 2, that if you're interested in this subgenre, this is probably a pretty good one to try because it has the stuff that makes the genre fun in it of like starting very slowly, scaling up and being like, wow, I made this like big machine that's kind of working well. And then eventually, like, I think the point of it, and they do this pretty elegantly, I would say, is that you're supposed to like tinker and modify with what you've built over time.
Sure.
Rather than just like deleting and starting over, which you can do if you wanted to. But like oftentimes there will be like, oh, you were delivering concrete to this city. Now you need to deliver reinforced concrete. And so like, how do you do that? Well, to make that in a factory, you have to take existing concrete and in a factory, melt that together with like steel or something. And so it kind of encourages you like, well, you should take what you were using, take it over to this factory and then put it back to the city, which like gets my engineering Jimmy's pretty wrestled of like refactoring existing systems and shit.
This doesn't do it at all for me. Just even you describing it. Yeah. But I love your passion about it. I love seeing you enjoy something.
It's also surprising to me because it it's so close to work, But I think they just make it fun. They make it very satisfying. And I don't know that this game is doing something very big story-wise, but I do like the idea that rather than like claiming domination and dominion over your environment like most other factory games are, I do enjoy the fact that the thrust of this one is let's make this planet hospitable. And so I am curious kind of where all that goes because I'm already being introduced to like recycling mechanics and stuff like that. So I'm like, how deep do we go here? Does this turn into like a city builder at some point where I need to be managing like power and waste from a city in a responsible way?
Gotta manage that energy supply.
Gotta manage the energy supply. It's a big deal.
Can't have an energy crisis, Chase.
No. Yeah. So I think this is a really good game. I'm going to keep playing it. I haven't this isn't a game I've put 20 hours into or anything like that, but it's one that I think is really enjoyable. And especially if you're maybe a little bit newer to the genre and like haven't seen what's great about it, then I would give this one a try. Maybe not David, you, but
that's someone else.
Other people might like it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Plan B Terraform. The other game that I played, David, this week is a game called Deadlock. You may have heard of this game, or maybe not. This is a game developed by Steam, which is a rare thing to say. Or sorry, it's made by Valve, I should say. And
I was like, I didn't know Steam was different than Valve.
Yeah, no, sort of similar concept. But this is a Valve-made game, and it is, I think it was like sort of launched in 2024. It's a game that's been like in, I guess, private beta, kind of early access, something like that, since about 2024. And it's got seemingly a pretty low barrier to entry because you just need to know somebody who's playing it, and then they send you an invite to play.
It's their version of Overwatch?
So sort of. It is. It's definitely got some Overwatchy stuff in it. But I would call this a combination of Overwatch and Dota. Is probably a closer analog because the stuff it's taken from Overwatch is that there is a pretty healthy amount of characters in this game, and not all of them require you to be just like cracked at shooting to be good at the video game.
Yeah.
But how the actual match plays out is like very similar to League of Legends or Defense of the Ancients 2. It is a game where like you will start and there is a map, and in the middle of it, there are these like waves of uncontrolled enemies that are just sort of running at each other and fighting each other. And you as the player are supposed to go into those lanes and sort of manage those monsters. And there are also enemies also in those lanes, 5 person per team, who are going to be like perhaps trying to fight you, perhaps not, perhaps trying to disappear and fight someone else in a different lane sometimes.
Sure.
But it's similar to any of those MOBA games where the purpose of it is to kind of like manage the amount of gold that you're getting and then buy cooler, newer items that you equip during the game, fight other people, and then push into the enemy's base and destroy it. Like that's the arc of those games. Man, if I was 10 years younger, this game would ruin me, David. It's so good. It's really, really fun.
That's so close to being like a problematic statement right there.
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh man, if I was young enough to play Deadlock,
younger and had the energy.
No, like what I mean by that is like I played like a handful of games, and like in similar MOBA fashion, it took us like 20, 30 minutes to play through it. And like, there's no pausing. This is a multiplayer game that you must be present for the whole way through.
Yeah.
And that's hard for me to find that time specifically. Like,
yeah,
I love visual novels right now. Like I'm having a great time with 100 Line because I can just stop playing for a moment. That's not a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, like it's hard for me to slice off like an undeterminate amount of time to play a game. Like it's not like it will take 30 minutes. It's like, it might take 30 minutes. It might take more.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't have that amount of time, but like, even from what I've played, I'm like, oh man, I could so easily see getting into this so hard because for my money, maybe Marvel Rivals kind of gets close to Overwatch.
Yeah.
But I don't think many games have even come close to the height of like 2017, 2018 era Overwatch.
No, it was crazy.
It was nuts and just felt like such a moment there. And playing through the cast of this game, I'm like, oh God, they really got the character feel just like really good. Each of them feels like totally unique and interesting. And I'm not just thinking about like, oh, this is clearly this character from Overwatch or something.
That is how all these other games feel. It's just like, okay, this is their version of Mercy. This is their version of Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they've got their Reaper in this one or whatever.
There's Zarya. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that there may be characters like that, but the ones that I played, I was like, this feels like kind of unique. I mean, a lot of them feel a lot more like Dota characters to me.
Sure.
Which is a game that like, if you're new to the podcast, you haven't heard this part of the lore. I was just an absolute Dota pervert.
You tried to get me into it, and I was just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It
is a game that I find sublimely satisfying when it is going well, and even when it's not, I think it's still a very fun game. But one that like truly, I feel like I didn't understand for like 600 to 700 hours of playing it.
Sure.
I think I've got like 2,000 hours logged in Dota on my Steam account, which is over the course of 10 years or whatever, but like I played it a lot, and there is just so much knowledge baked into that genre that make it like impenetrable for people who don't know, And for better or worse, I think Deadlock they are courting that audience for this game. Like I was playing it and I was like, oh man, like I can already tell how much knowledge they are asking of you. Just getting into the game, it's like you need to know about like laning and stuff like that. Or when someone calls that their lane is missing, you need to know what that means and like the implications of that, I was also like, I'm not making like a lot of their equivalent of like gold. I wonder why that is. And I was like, does this game have last hitting? Which in MOBA games is that if you hit the enemy, like these little, they call them creeps. If you hit them and you're your hit is the one that kills it, you get more gold from that. You get like a little bonus. And the mark of like if you're doing well or not is if you're getting a lot of those, And so I was like, I don't know if this game has that. It kind of does. Insofar as like when the creeps in this game are killed, there's this little like orb that comes out of them and floats above their head for a second. And to get the like money for that kill, you have to shoot this orb. And it's just kind of a fun way for me, at least, to like make it a little bit more active, because you're constantly trying to manage like, all right, that guy's about to die. I kind of need to like watch him. And once that happens, I'll shoot it. But the enemies can also shoot their own or yours. And so like they can deny you that farm, as they say. And so like that concept alone is already so much, let alone the like ideas of like figuring out when to switch lanes or when to like join into another fight. This game, I think mercifully, it has these like zip lines that go throughout any of the 3 lanes, and you can just like jump onto it and go very quickly back to the front.
That's nice.
It is nice. And I think that like in MOBAs, they typically, if you've used like a teleportation item recently, you can't just immediately jump back into a different lane. And so it forces you to be considerate with like, when am I going to get over there? Because I can't just like pop back and forth between 2 places. Or if you died and you don't have a teleport, then like you have to run all the way back out. And that can be very slow, thereby making your losses a lot worse if you happen to die. But this game, I think, just overall has a faster pace to it. And so you're able to kind of get back into the action a lot quicker, which again feels very Overwatchy. Of like, there is a little bit of a run back, but like typically you are fighting again pretty quickly.
Sure.
Yeah, it's, God, I feel like this game is just quietly going to be so fucking good. Like when it launches, it's so bizarre to me actually, because like, I don't know if you remember this quite the same way, but I feel like in like 2010, 2011, like MOBAs were like a big deal, quote unquote.
They were, yeah.
Like it felt like League and Dota were like, these are like the future of video games in a way. And it's not like every company was trying to make their own MOBA, but like it felt like a lot of people were trying to get a piece of that pie.
Well, I mean, that's how Overwatch started. They're like, okay, we're going to take the MOBA concept and turn it into like a first-person shooter, essentially. Like, that's how it was originally, I think, even billed or talked about.
Yeah, because like the concepts of having like skills and ultimates and shit like that is very MOBA coded.
That's all from MOBAs. It came from MOBAs, yeah.
Yeah, and so it is interesting to see it kind of like wrapping back around on itself. To like integrating those old school kind of designs. But in the same way that when I boot up like Madden or 2K and I'm like, what the fuck is going on in here, man? Like
you don't want to know. It's not good right now still.
That's kind of the thing that I'm feeling is that like I love this game, and I think if people are into MOBAs, they will probably also find a lot to love here. But part of what I think the spark that Overwatch had was that you didn't really need to have that much MOBA knowledge to play Overwatch. It's
true.
Like the game types are pretty obvious most of the time, you know, like even the like move the cart thing isn't that wild. you know, it's like you see the cart and they have like a UI on it that like shows how far you've gone, and like the moment you lose, you're like, wait, what happened? And then you're like, oh, I have to be, you know, standing on the cart or whatever. That stuff, like, I think that they sanded off a lot of those edges that in some ways makes that game shallower, but not shallow. Like Overwatch is a very deep game for sure.
Yeah.
But like, again, having experienced like 1,000, 2,000 hours of Dota, I still feel like I don't get that game. Like there's still so much to learn and like so many things to get better at. And that I think is the thing that you gain when you have that level of complexity in one of these games and it's tuned well, which I think Dota is. And I think Deadlock likely is as well. And so like, I am so excited about this game in a way. I also forgot to mention, thank you to Brendan Bigley, who sent me like an invite for that game. Because he already had it. Nice. And so, yeah, that was a real kindness because like you let the freak off his leash for a moment here, Brendan. But long story short, I think this game is amazing. I am so interested in where it goes. I think the characters are already so much fun and so cool. Like the cast is amazing.
Yeah.
And I am curious how well this game does because it feels like it's poised to really like explode among the MOBA community. What I'm curious about is if it has a good enough on-ramp for people who are not fans of MOBA. I know that like they also have a like essentially a deathmatch game type. I do wonder if that's just going to be the thing that hits for most people.
Yeah.
Which I would find sort of funny because like there's clearly so much effort that's been put into the like standard MOBA game type. And it would be like almost like the Fortnite Save the World versus the Fortnite Battle Royale thing that happened early on where it's like, they're like, just kidding. It's just Battle Royale now. That's the thing we're doing. That it would be hilarious if just the deathmatch took off in this game that is tuned within an inch of its life. But all that said, it's not a game that I'm really going to be able to like indulge in any real capacity. Yeah. Because like, again, I don't think I have another 2,000 hours of free time in the next 20 years, you know, like I don't think that's an amount of time that I will be able to commit to one thing other than like being a dad, working, and maybe exercising. That's kind of it. And like I don't say that in a I'm depressed about that way, but just realistically, like I've got, maybe 50 hours for 100 line. I'm sure it's longer than that, but like I've got that. But 2K for a game that like does not fit into my life very well, it's just not going to happen. And
not going to happen. Yeah.
Like it is a game that I think I will sort of respect from afar and maybe pop in every now and then to be like, yeah, this is a fucking great game. But one that I can't really like indulge in the fantasy of playing it in any serious capacity.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that is part of the fantasy of playing MOBAs is like, am I going to get fucking good at this game? Like at least for me, that was always the idea of like, maybe I'm fucking cracked at this now.
Am I going to become a big time streamer with this game?
Yeah. The answer is no. There's so many people who are much better at Dota than I am, but it was fun for a while to like kind of take it seriously and try to get better. It's the same thing that when you and I were playing like Smash 4 and trying to get a little bit better at it. Like it's the same deal. But yeah, just a wonderful game. I'm not surprised that Valve is good at making video games, but it's really remarkable what happens when you put like enough creative and smart people in a room.
Absolutely. Who's your main?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Apollo, Celeste, Seven.
I think it was Seven. He's the robot guy, right?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm just looking at tier lists. Seven is number one. He's S+ according to this website.
Yeah, I think I was playing as him. He was sort of pitched as an easy to use hero, and so I tried to play him first because I wanted to learn like what the basics of the game were before I tried to like play an incredibly challenging character. And so I was playing as him a lot. Who else? There was somebody else. Oh, Ivy was another one that I was having a good time with, partially because she has like really good mobility and she's kind of hard to kill. And so like there's a little bit more leeway for fucking up.
Sure.
Whereas like if you're playing a character that's supposed to be very good at killing other characters, like typically you're going to be a little squishy and like it might lead to you being not very good.
Is she a British gargoyle?
Ivy, yeah, she is. Isn't it like the character design's so fucking good?
That's good.
In these games. I have no idea how to play him, but I'm very interested in playing the Doorman, which looks like just like a bellhop.
I saw that one. That was cool.
I'm so interested in what's going on there. But yeah, like, I mean, a lot of these feel like characters from the Dota verse in a way that I'm very into. They just look fucking cool. So I'm really impressed with all of this stuff. So anyway, yeah, Deadlock. That's a game that I'm enjoying, but likely will never be very good at.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Anyway, David, this will bring me to my Podtimistic thing of the week.
Which is?
It's mods, David.
Ooh, nice.
I am not like a huge modder myself. This is not a thing that I am like super well versed in, but every now and then I'll crack out a mod and be like, you know what? That's fucking cool. That was a really good time. In this case, I'm talking about the Car Mechanic Simulator 2021, but like there have been other experiences like this. I think about our experience with, what was it? Brawl Minus, the Super Smash Bros mod, which was just so janky and fun.
So weird. So many weird characters in there.
Yeah, it's a banana. For anybody who doesn't know, it's essentially just like a hack that you can apply to Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And you can do a bunch of stuff, but for me at least, the draw was that you could download characters.
Yeah.
And
did they put wave dashing in it?
I think they did. I never got good enough to enjoy that.
No, definitely not.
And so like that was never a thing I was really fucking with. But yeah, just the ability to like reskin characters, or even just when they would make new like move sets entirely, was a real thrill. That was incredible. I loved all of the like bizarre characters that they added in there. I think that was the first time we had played as Banjo-Kazooie in a game of Smash before they actually added him.
Sure, yeah.
But like, you gotta add Goku and all the fucking
absolutely
Super Saiyans and shit like that.
The Z Fighters, yeah.
Yeah, had to. But yeah, all of that was extremely fun. So mods,
great times.
Do you have something fueling your sense of optimism, David?
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
It's the death of E3, Chase.
Interesting. An interesting time to call this out because it died a while ago and it's also February. It's not even close to E3.
The death of E3, while a very sad thing and something I mourned for quite some time, has given me the opportunity to be able to come home on a random, I think it was like Wednesday, Thursday from work and just be like, oh, damn, there was a big state of play from Sony today.
Yes,
I'm going to spend the next like hour just watching cool game trailers. And that's exactly what I did last week after that Sony state of play, which was actually a very good showcase, I thought. There were a lot of good-looking games in there.
Yeah.
A lot of games I'm excited to play. Yeah.
I had no expectations really about this state of play. I didn't see anything about it or like know much going into it. But
they just like shadow drop these things nowadays, or at least for me they do, because I can't like pay attention to like whenever they're gonna do a state of play, because sometimes it's just like nothing. Sometimes like, hey, we're doing Astrobot new levels, 2 new levels for Astrobot, come through. And sometimes it's something big like this.
I agree that like it's typically just kind of out of nowhere, or at least it feels that way. I agree. I mean, that state of play was pretty fucking good. There was a lot in there. Like you said, the new Castlevania, that's shocking.
The new Castlevania, made by the guys who did Dead Cells, apparently?
Yes, that's encouraging. That's very encouraging.
Very interesting. I didn't play a whole lot of Dead Cells, but I see how that is going on in this game. More Saros information. The new Silent Hill game?
I was not expecting that at all.
No, I was watching this trailer and I'm just like, is this a Silent Hill game? When I saw the fog of the creepy town where they just gave an S in the beginning before they revealed the whole sign for the town and like the weird creepy like radio he had. I'm like, is this a Silent Hill game? And it was. It looks cool. Pragmata, I'm interested.
I just have no idea what this game is.
They have a demo for it that I've downloaded, but I haven't tried it yet. So I'm interested in that one. Yeah. The new John Wick game, I'm like...
So bizarre.
Cool. I've always wondered, whenever I watch a John Wick movie, I'm like, man, this could make a good game. But then you start thinking about it, you're like, it would be kind of hard to make a good John Wick game.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where they go with that. The new Control, very, very interested.
That Star Wars Galactic Racer game looks fucking amazing.
Dude, yes. I was so into that. I'm like, yes, give me more pod racers. Let's go.
Because it's made by the Burnout people, which like, I'm like, why haven't we done this yet?
I didn't know it was made by the Burnout people, but I was watching the trailer. I'm just like, okay, so it's Star Wars Burnout.
Truly. Like,
makes a lot of sense.
You're looking at it and you're like, even the amount of time it takes for you to like put enough tension on a car for it to like blow out of your way. I'm like, damn, it feels like a Burnout.
I was like, this looks like Burnout.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I am too. I'm very excited for that. Like, I'm not a like shill for anything Star Wars kind of guy, but like, I'm like, damn, it kind of looks like they're fucking cooking with this one.
Could be good. The new 007 game, I'm here for it. I want to try it. I'm interested.
Yeah.
And then every time I see something new for Resident Evil Requiem, I get a little more excited. I'm like, this game looks like it could be pretty darn good, at least from the trailers I'm seeing so far. I haven't read like anybody's opinions on like having actually like tried a test version of it yet, but early returns look promising.
Yeah, I'm interested. It comes out this month, so like it's not far away at all.
I
mean, I'm certainly gonna play it. Like I'm such a Resident Evil head that like I was gonna play it no matter what. And I'm like Brendan over at Into the Aether has said this a bunch of times of like I'm good. Like I'm going to play this. You do not need to show me any more trailers for this. And I'm sort of the same mind of like I've tried to kind of tune out from a lot of their trailers because I don't really want to know that much. Like I'm in. You got me. It's also very interesting to me. It's exciting that they're suddenly like culminating a lot of other Resident Evil stuff for this game to happen. Because like 7 and 8, as much as like, you know, Chris Redfield is in those games, it very much felt like Ethan Winters' show. It was his game by and large. And so for Leon to be in this one, and then also like seemingly it looks like you're going back to Raccoon City in some capacity. I'm like, I gotta know what's going on in here, man.
They might be cooking. They might be cooking. Not least, and then this all brings me to the game I'm most excited for from this, Chase.
What is it?
Project Windless.
The Chase. Chicken game, yes.
The chicken game. Are you interested in this one too?
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, Chicken Dynasty Warriors, I'm in, dude.
Can we take bets on to how quickly somebody is going to mod a boss in this game to look like Peter Griffin?
Oh God. I mean, probably day one, now that we've spoken it into existence.
Did you not immediately think of our our cultural heritage. Family Guy, when you saw a buff chicken fighting and taking down a bunch of enemies, Chase.
I can't believe this is where your head went, David. I can't believe this.
I immediately saw that. It's like, I got to talk to Chase about this.
No, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, David.
You know someone is going to mod Peter Griffin into this game.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
They got to.
Jesus.
Chase has a look of that, like I have just ripped away all of his joy by mentioning this right now.
You've wounded me. Metal Gear Solid 4 coming back out though. I'm pretty juiced on that.
Oh yeah, the new one or the Master Collection 2, right?
Yeah, the Volume 2, which has both 4 and Peace Walker, which I will say, Peace Walker, an absolute banger. We're gonna need to cover that for the show pretty soon, I think.
Absolutely, yeah, I want to play it.
Play through that one it's a really good game.
Yeah,
and finally, 4 is free from its shackles of the PlayStation 3.
I know. So took long enough.
It really did. I'm hoping that they're able to like make sure this collection is ported forward as much as possible because I just don't want it to be lost anymore, you know?
Speaking about porting forward an old classic.
Yeah.
How do you think they're going to remake God of War?
I don't know.
Do you feel like they're really going to change it up? Because, I mean, God of War, the new one is so vastly different tone-wise than the old ones that it might really confuse some people if you go back to, hey, here's a sex minigame, kids.
I know. If I were Sony, I don't know that I would have made this decision. I get it because, like, it's such a popular series that, like, it seems like a good idea on paper, but, like, I think there are a lot of fans of that series that might be weirded out by the fact that you don't include the horny mini game at the beginning of every one of those.
The David Jaffe of it all.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. They have the remaster still that they can go back to. It's fine.
Yeah, just like it's a weird thing to have to make a decision about in 2026, you know, like, because it's a little bit easier to be like, well, it was 2003 or whatever, and this is, I guess, what gaming was. But I don't know. I have no idea how they're going to approach that one. Like, I think it's an interesting concept, but I also don't know that those games are particularly bad now, you know, like.
Sure.
I'm sort of heartened by things like the Dragon Quest VII Reimagined game, where it's like they have given a game that was largely considered like the worst one a second chance, and like I like that a lot, and that's kind of what I hope for when thinking about remakes and stuff like that. Of like, I'm not necessarily against them just as like a reaction, but like I think my own reluctance with remakes is like when The Last of Us has put out another remake of a game that I can't even tell the difference between how they've updated it, you know?
Yeah.
And of course, God of War is much older than that, but like, I don't know that it needs it really. It's already a beloved video game. You know?
We need to remake Astrobot, right?
Yeah. I need the 4K texture pack. It's like already in 4K. What are we doing here? And so like I'm kind of curious how that works out. Of course, like I know that they're probably going to put a lot of effort into it, and I hope it works out. But yeah, I like my interest in it is tepid, I would say.
My interest in it is I want to see some gameplay first, and then
that's the real answer. Is like you gotta see how this plays, because like that game it just plays so differently than the new ones. Like none of them are the sort of like third person action combat game. They're all sort of like not fixed camera angle, but the camera angles are much more opinionated about where it's looking. And so like, do you change all of that? Do you just
they're more like a Devil May Cry,
Yeah. And so like, are you going to get the kind of Final Fantasy VII remake approach where it's just an entirely different thing, but like, the beats are sort of similar? Or is it you are doing those games, but you're applying a healthy new coat of paint to them? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just remake it in the style of the new God of Wars.
That's kind of what I would expect. Like if you gun to my head said, what is that going to look like? That's sort of what I would bank on them doing. But again, I don't know how well that's going to work.
Yeah.
I bet it will be fun at the very least. But regardless, it's an interesting choice, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, hey, choice they thought they could make money on. Huh?
I mean, yes, that is true.
Yes.
Also, I fucking loved Kratos' original voice actor, like in the interim, like talking about the game.
Yeah. That's just like, this guy just took every second he had to just rizz us up.
Yes.
Hard.
I was like, why are you not hosting the rest of the State of Play, dude? Like,
yeah, you should be there.
He's way too charismatic to be put into this random part of this presentation. Yes, T.C. Carson. He was like the original voice of Kratos. And man, you can tell. Like, he sounds so much like the original Kratos specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm like, dude, you gotta be in more of these presentations. Like, he's having a ball with it. Anyway, do you want to move on to our main thing, David?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, welcome to Good Games. It's a segment where we talk about the okayest games of yesteryear and gush all the things that we love about them. And this week, got a weird one.
Yeah.
We were suggested to play a game called Silhouette Mirage.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps fittingly, this was suggested to us by Anonymous. They didn't list a name. Yeah.
Okay. The plot thickens.
Yeah. This person had to say on the topic of this game. I remember this game like a fever dream. As a kid, I was usually one to finish games I started, but this was one of the first games that I tapped out of and retired near the finish line. Unique but bizarre. Not a bad game. It can be very fun to play, but I also remember it being an uphill hike with too much friction to fully enjoy. Love to hear what it's like to play now. Thank you, whoever you are.
Thank you, Anon.
Had you heard of this game, David?
Never. No.
Yeah. I suspect you probably heard of games made by this company and even its close relative Mischief Makers for the N64.
Mm-hmm.
This was also one that I wasn't familiar with, but I had played it like essentially when emulation was like a thing that I was suddenly interested in like kind of 2010-ish.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, I could just like play old games. Like, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
That this was one of the ones I checked out specifically for its connection to Mischief Makers. There's like an artistic connection and the visuals of it and like the era as well. I was just like, well, I got to check out what's going on in there. But other than that, really, truly no experience at all. But let me just hit you with these hot stats, man.
Let's hear them.
Hot stats.
So Silhouette Mirage, this was a game that originally had come out on the Sega Saturn in Japan, but about 2 years later was ported to the PlayStation 1. In North America, it came out in January of 2000 for the PlayStation 1. This was made by Treasure, David, and we've covered a couple of their games before.
Yeah, they sound familiar.
I think specifically for the purpose of this game, it would be interesting to highlight both Mischief Makers for sure, but also Ikaruga.
Ooh.
I think he can feel the influence.
I was gonna bring that up. I'm like, this feels like a side-scrolling action Ikaruga.
Yes. Yeah, no, the influence is definitely there.
Uh-huh.
But then also they made Light Crusader, which I only call out because I fucking love Light Crusader. I think we covered that on the show at some point.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Crusader.
It was like
covered so many games at this point.
I know, yeah. 280 something. I'm pretty sure that was like a Genesis top-down kind of adventure game.
Oh, yeah. We did this one.
Banger of a soundtrack. And of course they made Genesis. The famous Dragon Drive D-Master Shot.
D-Master as in like not the opposite of remastered, or D-Master as like the letter D.
The letter D, Master's Shot.
Even better.
Oh yeah, that's a Dave Master Dragon Drive Dave Master Shot.
Dave Masters.
I do have a review of Silhouette Mirage from the outlet Jeux Video. I had taken their review, which was originally in French, ran it through Google Translate a number of times, one language into another, to get an artist interpretation, which I'm going to read for you now, David.
Let's hear it.
The discussions in the forums are sometimes heated, sometimes supportive. The comments from fans and experts have been difficult at times. However, Victor, who is the head of gaming and now runs Mario, returned to Ireland and defended his wrong decision. And Treasure Mazzato himself had won them over. While the issue has not been fully resolved, the US PlayStation disc of Silhouette Mirage is one of the best games I've ever played. It is important to understand the advantages and disadvantages of this format compared to other formats, which is the main purpose of our research. If you can find this hybrid game, I highly recommend you give it a try. It is very different from the current wave of games today made for baby. And they gave that 18 out of 20. They really liked it.
Sounds like they were getting a little like problematic at the end there. Made for babies.
This is made for not babies, baby.
Baby.
Just the one.
This is made for baby. My baby.
Yeah, it's somewhere there exists the baby that all video games are made for.
This is the singular baby.
The platonic ideal. Mm-hmm. Could you tell me what Silhouette Mirage is, David?
Oh, I would love to attempt. Let's try this.
Yeah, God.
Silhouette Mirage is a 2D side-scrolling action shooter game where you take on the role of a robot lady. Is that right? Isn't she a robot who's been like awoken to like bring balance to the world or something like that?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So in this game, if you shoot right, you can do, well, it changes. So let's just say when you're facing right and you shoot, you can damage silhouettes.
Yeah.
When you when you face left and you shoot, you can damage mirages, right?
Yes.
So left, you damage mirages, right, you damage silhouettes. Inversely, if you shoot a mirage going right, you increase like your power, your energy levels, right, to do more bigger, powerful moves.
Yeah.
And then same thing, shooting left on a silhouette, right? So you have to consider where you are in the map and like what enemy you're fighting to be able to effectively manage your resources and deal out damage. You can also switch directions essentially, right? So instead of shooting right being damaging silhouettes, you can switch so it's shooting right damages mirages, right? And a mirage and a silhouette being just two different types of enemies in this game. What is it? The mirage is like a lady, and a silhouette is a creepy like zombie thing.
In general, yeah, I think like it refers to like I think a type of robot or something. But the lady enemies who just look like 1950s housewife kind of deal.
Yeah,
they're typically I think the mirages, but you like fall down into a pit and then you encounter a lot of silhouette enemies, which are like Halloween themed enemies.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like pumpkins and stuff.
Exactly. So you can shoot, you can dash, you can slide, you can grab your enemies and beat them up and throw them in up, down, left or right. To position yourself correctly. You can jump, you can double jump as you traverse this world. It gives you a lot of different options of things to do. You can like throw bombs around, essentially. There's a lot of movement and combat options in this game, which I was not ready for or expecting at all. There's actually kind of a deep combat system. Yeah. But yeah, then you just go through the game and you beat up these silhouettes and mirages and just try and optimize your position and your damage output and get through the game.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much it. I did read that you're supposed to be able to beat this in like a sitting if you kind of know how to do it.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's not a game that is horribly long. And if you'll notice too, they also had like a continue system. Like when you died fully, there was like a continue that would come up, which I think is what the person who suggested this was talking about, that like it's just so fucking hard and you can't get through it all the way, which I'm pretty sure that Mischief Makers had like kind of a similar idea in it. I forget exactly how they handled lives, but I remember something similar where it's like I would get close to the end of the game and then I'm like, I can't actually do it because I'm like not good enough at this video game. How did you feel about this one, David?
I thought it was a very interesting like thought experiment.
Yeah.
I don't know if the game for me hits on all cylinders when you're actually engaging with it.
Yeah.
From like a theoretical point of view, I think it's very interesting, right? You know, with the different like whether you're shooting left or right, doing two different things and depending on the direction, but and then having all these movement options and being able to throw enemies around and dash underneath them and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot going on in the game. I just don't know if it all comes together in a coherent whole.
Yeah.
At least for me. Was it cool to like go around and do all these things? I think so, yes. But it also kind of made the game very confusing because there's so many things you can do. And I think this game might have been something that really benefited from simplicity, like in Ikaruga, which is very simple in how it works and how it throws enemies at you. You don't have to worry about necessarily positioning yourself. You just have to worry about like, oh, am I doing dark or light attacks right now, right? So yeah, and the game really does beat you up sometimes. It can get pretty darn difficult, and then also just in general, you know, kind of confusing as to where I was supposed to go sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's just indicative of the era and the hardware more than anything else.
Yeah, I think like this game specifically, and I know this from Mischief Makers, and I think that Mischief Makers handles this a little bit better, but I feel like they communicate to the player that this is not a go to the right to win the game kind of game. In Mischief Makers, I don't know that they communicate that very well in this one, because like there are often times where that's like really not what you're supposed to be doing. but they don't like tell you that. It's like kind of just a game where you're supposed to like go find the thing that you're trying to do. And like, that's the game. But yeah, like in Mischief Makers, sometimes it is the case that you will need to like go to the right to finish the level. But oftentimes it's just like, you just have to fight the boss or like find the way out of this level in some capacity.
Yeah. It's almost maze-like in a way.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's a much like closer approximation here of like what the levels are supposed to be laid out like. I also think like it is so nice in Ikaruga that you can switch damage types at the drop of a hat.
Yes.
It takes longer in this one. And like,
there's like a whole entire thing that goes on. Like there's a whole entire animation and it takes like 5 or 6 seconds and then light comes out around you and they make a whole big deal out of it. And it's just, it doesn't flow well because of that.
Yeah. I think like it's a bummer because I think if it was immediate, it would be a lot more fun. Like it would be a lot more like intense to have to just kind of be managing the enemies around you. Cause I found myself really frequently in a situation where it's like, there's one enemy backed up against the wall in an area and I need to be a different color to fight them, but I have run out of like spirit power or whatever.
Yeah.
And which means that I can't like swap types all of a sudden. And so I kind of just have to like straddle my way over them to try and get them off the wall so I can hit them with the correct side of myself.
You just got to throw them in the opposite direction, but the throwing doesn't feel like too good in this game.
It's kind of challenging to do immediately, but I agree with you. And so like, I wish it was more immediate. And again, just like, comparisons, the Thief of Joy or whatever the fuck it is. Like...
Comparison is the thief of joy. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Is that not what I said? It doesn't matter. That for this game in Ikaruga, because like Ikaruga is kind of an all-timer and this one does not feel that way to me, despite the fact that there are very interesting ideas here. I think it's a cool idea to take that idea of swapping types to damage different enemies and put it in a side scroller. Like I'm with you on that. And every now and then it hits, I think especially the boss battles actually do really work well here. Because you're usually in an arena and the bosses are typically much more, they move a lot. And so like I can kind of maneuver around them a little bit to get get the spot that I need them to be in.
Sure.
And so just like I had a lot more time with the bosses compared to like, just running around and fighting the different silhouettes and mirages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All that said, like I think just personally, I love the art style of this game. It is so weird. The like two-tone main character is so bizarre. All of the weird little bosses that you show up with, like the frog guy at first, who's like a punk rock guy who shows down from the ceiling. I think he's Australian or something.
Makes sense.
Just hilarious. The little like tingle looking creature that you fight after him was really great. Just all that stuff really works. And like there was a character that showed up after that who was like, what do they call them? Like Zohar or something like that.
Yeah.
And like, it's like a Mega Man mech looking character and stuff. Like I was very impressed with all of the character designs and the art in this game. I think it's really, really cool.
They put a lot of consideration into the world that they had built.
Yes. Yeah.
They were really trying to make a story with this game, which I appreciated.
Yeah, there's like there is a lot of lore here of like the like messengers of destruction and stuff like that or whatever. It's all very cool. There's also that kind of neat moment in the beginning where Zohar like destroys something in the distance. He like drops what looks to be like a nuke or something on this facility, and your like newfound little like lizard tingle friend is like, well shit, I gotta like get you out of here and take you to another dimension or something like that.
Yeah. This is getting bad.
Yeah. So like there's stuff going on there that I'm interested in. It's just sort of a shame that it's so hard to get to it.
Sure.
Something I read that I found very baffling though was that when they ported this game to the States, they made it harder intentionally. And I was like, I'm so curious to have played the original Japanese version, because like I wonder if that just would have fixed the problem I had with it, like, because if it was just like a touch easier, I could see it being like, well, it's not that big of a deal that like I have some struggles like getting around certain characters or something like that, or that I can't switch all the time because, if the enemies are just going down easier, no big deal. I can use my little reflection blast or whatever and take them out a lot easier. So I do wonder if that's like just the version to play. I wonder if there's like a recompilation of like that game with the English voice cast or voice text or whatever.
Maybe.
Could be interesting.
That could be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's a game that, talk about games that I would love to see remade. Like, give this one another try. Like, they're cooking with all the ideas here. And I think
there's a lot of interesting things going on.
Yeah. And even to the point where like this game would probably be a roguelike in 2026.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because just like the kind of game it is, like mechanically, but they don't really make games anymore that are just fucking hard and you have to play them a lot to get to the end of the story, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I would say for a good reason. Like, I think a roguelike suits that story a little bit better, where you just get a little bit more of it each time you play.
Mm-hmm. Or a little bit more powerful each time you go.
Yeah, exactly. Because clearly, like, they got stuff going on here. I'm consider me interested.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a game that I would love to love. You know?
Yeah. Because like you can see the really good game in here.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just it's a good game.
Yeah.
But it's not really good. And if you just like pared back a couple things and streamlined a couple things here and there, like it would really be cooking.
Yeah. Like I'm almost worried to return back to Mischief Makers because I liked that game a lot as a kid, and I kind of worry like, is this like not so good?
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of love for that one when I was younger, but I also had a lot of time to just like hurl myself at that game over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to remember if I was bad at it or I just didn't have a memory card and had to play it a lot. It could be either one.
Good question to ask.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like largely the thing that I am left with in this game is just an overwhelming respect for the art in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of it's really good. It's got kind of this like hand-drawn art. There was like that weird middle period of side-scrolling games where it's like it had the power of a PlayStation or something like that. So it didn't have to be necessarily restricted by, you know, the SNES or Genesis kind of graphical style.
Yeah.
And so you got cool stuff, even like a Metal Slug or something kind of comes to mind where it's not full-blown 3D, but they're still messing with the 2D format. And this one, I think just, it looks fucking great. It looks really good.
Yeah.
And like all those character designs, the weird little like pumpkin men, the like strange like housewife enemy, like I'm in on all of that.
Yeah. No explanation as to why.
No,
it's just like,
not.
This is the Mirage. This is a silhouette. Blast away.
Yeah. It feels like a more positive version of something that you would find in Nier Automata or just any Nier game.
Sure. Yeah.
That's all in there, which, you know, of course I like that.
You love any allusion to that.
I sure do. It's very fun. Maybe we should play Mischief Makers. Although maybe we should play, there's a couple of Saturn games from this company that'd be very interested to check out.
Ooh, okay.
A console that have we covered a Saturn game ever?
I don't know.
I don't think we have.
Maybe games that were also on Sega Saturn, but I don't know of any exclusives.
Exclusives, yeah. I don't recall. That is such a console that is lost to me. I have no experience with the Saturn.
My one experience with the Sega Saturn, one Christmas down at my Nana and Papa's in LA, we rented a Sega Saturn.
Yes, yeah.
For like 3 or 4 days and a couple games from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Great time.
See, I tried this with, I think, Blockbuster as well, and the Sega Saturn they had was like fucked up and nothing would work.
Oh, that is such a bummer. I would be pissed.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, we tried multiple times and I was just like, dang it, dude, this sucks.
That's a bummer. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Maybe a mercy because like there weren't that many games for it. And so I'm sort of glad we didn't commit the money to actually buy the console, but
we played some crazy like mech arena battle game.
Yes. No, there's a lot of bizarre entries in that catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, do you have any other feelings about Silhouette Mirage, David?
No, it was very interesting. Yeah. I enjoyed my time with it. It was a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, me too.
In a good way.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it may come off like I'm sounding kind of down on this game. I don't feel that way. It was just like I could see the amazing game behind some of the decisions here. And I wanted to play that game as well. But it's also just like, it's fun. It's inventive. And like, I love to look at it largely.
Yeah, it looks good.
So yeah, that's a Silhouette Mirage. So thank you for whoever suggested this. We appreciate you. Hey, thank you for listening. If you want to check anything out about the show, you can go to podtimism.com. Got a link to our Discord for the podcast network that we are a part of, so come check it out in there if you want to. But I'm going to keep it so brief and so cool right now. So chill.
Okay.
And just say, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to this podcast. And thanks for keeping it right. Thanks for suggesting games for whoever wants to do that. You can do that on the website if you want to do that. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Wow.
Thank you for being here. And David, do you have any gaming wisdom for me?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, it's play games that are doing something different.
Yeah.
Give them a shot.
Give them a shot.
They're trying something new. They're trying something funky. Maybe it doesn't hit. Maybe it's got, some good bones there for something in the future. Give it a go. Give it a go. Play games that challenge you. Not just from a hand-eye coordination perspective, but from a what do I consider a game and game mechanics perspective.
Play Final Fantasy Time Stranger or whatever that game is.
Whoa, I don't know about that one.
I heard
maybe
it was
that's too
bad.
far.
I heard it was a little bad. Maybe I should play
some okay games, everybody.
Yeah, true. I mean, if
you'll complain less about the really good games that we do play,
or even the mid games that we do play,
Exactly.
People would have a lot less to say about, let's see, what's a hot button video game that I can wade into here? I don't know. I feel like there's been kind of a quiet on the discourse front, I feel like, in games this year. There hasn't been something that has popped quite as much as it typically does yet. Like,
sure,
we're due for a difficulty discourse or something here pretty soon. I feel like there's going to be a hard game. People are going to, feel something about difficulty soon. I feel
it's true
that we're forced to have the same conversations over and over and over again. So I don't know. Mugenics. The game's really good. I've still been playing that. It's very good.
Making you feel icky?
Once you get past the kind of name of it and just maybe the graphical style, if that's not your thing, it's very good. I didn't talk about it, but here I am at the last second talking about it. It's a very good video game.
Good game.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, that's what I'm going to leave you with this week.
Cool.
All right, gamers. We will see you next time.
All right. See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye.
TWG, the worst garbage, online.